What's up guys, Corey coming to you live from the TacToys HQ here on the Gold Coast, and I'm not sure if you were aware, but if I'm sitting at a desk, I've got my laptop here and there's a blaster in front of me. You guys know this is a damn serious blaster. So let's get right into it. You've already read the title. This is the Mark V review. What is the Mark V? Well, we've got our MK range. You've got your MK3, MK4, MK5 and MK6. Your Mark III has been out about around 12 months. And it's been a damn popular blaster, actually one of our most popular upgraded blasters. But we've heard you guys' cries, we know what you want, so we've brought out the Mark IV, 5 and 6. Now, the 4 and the 6 are dead similar to the Mark V right here. What's the difference? Well, the length. When I get into it, you'll know exactly what I mean. Let's start opening this bad boy. Man, nothing feels better than opening a brand new blaster, especially something that's as heavy as this one. What I'm gonna do is open the box right now and let's have a look at the contents. Boom, what we have here is a full black Mark IV. I'm gonna go through each and every individual bit so you know exactly what you're gonna get when it arrives to your door. First up, we have our accessories case. Inside, I believe you have your battery, your charger, your safety glasses, and a few extra gel balls. We'll get into opening that in a second. The next item you're gonna see is a red dot sight. This one just sits on top of your blaster. We'll have a look at that one again in a second, but I'm more excited about opening this bad boy. You've got a cover on your handguard so that it doesn't scratch anything. Right there, you have the Mark V. Man, this thing has some serious weight. I'm telling you right now. You can already tell how front heavy that is. The whole front end is metal. The top rail up here, this bad boy is metal. So we've got a metal muzzle, a metal inner barrel, a metal triangle sight right here on the front, again metal outer barrel, metal handguard, and also you've got barrel stabilizers all the way through, inner and outer barrel stabilizers. Again, the top rail right here is metal, so you won't have any threading issues at all. Guys, we designed the Mark III, as you know, to be a blaster that you don't need to upgrade internally. This one right here, we basically made it so you don't need to do anything externally except small little things like foregrips or suppressors, a different sight, heaps of small things you can do, but externally, basically it's done. Now let's have a look at the buffer tube and the buttstock. Now, if you haven't seen this buttstock before, well, it's the same that you see on the HK or similar to the one that's even on the V10. This is probably the most popular buttstock in the gel ball industry. Why? Because the thing is bloody solid. Also, the buffer tube you're gonna find, this thing is metal as well. Very popular. You find it's usually one of the first upgrades people do on their Gen 8 to give the rear some weight. Why did we choose these two? Well, the front end is so heavy that you need something to compensate the weight at the front, and these two do just that. They're quite heavy and they balance out the blaster. Next up, we have your red dot sight, the one that I mentioned earlier. This thing is pretty badass. It's not just a red dot. You actually have quite a few options, and it comes with two batteries. One's already installed, so straight out of the box, you should be able to turn it on. This top one here is basically your brightness. You adjust it to be stronger and brighter or weaker, and you can also go between red and green. There's a bottom dial right down here. This one's actually displaying your reticle, so you can have a cross, you can have a dot, you can have a circle with a dot in it, and you can have a mix of all three. It's quite nice. I personally do like just a red dot because it's nice and simple, but this one just sits on your top rail facing this way. Basically just like that. We think it's perfect for this blaster. Of course, in gel blasters, you do have to remember that we usually don't use the sights all that much because we don't shoot all that far. However, for one that's cosmetically nice, this is definitely the one that I would be going for, and that's why we chose to put it on this blaster. All right, let's check out the accessories box. What do we have in here? Okay, so you actually have an upgraded B3 charger, which is great. Right here, this one actually charges an upgraded 11 volt and a standard 7.4 volt. So it's good for both. If you have a different blaster that takes a 7.4 volt, bang, this one will be able to charge it as well. The B3 charger is actually a lot more safe than the USB chargers because it plugs straight into the wall. Whereas the USB chargers, of course, are like, you generally will put it into a computer or something like that, or an adapter for your phone. These ones are a lot safer. 3 green lights equals charged, 3 red lights equals not charged, and if there's green, green, red, you're not charged. It's going to equally balance all 3 of your cells if you're running an 11 volt. You have your standard magazine. This one will be holding around 150 to 200 gel balls, I would say, and the door again is just on the side, which is the one that we love the most, instead of the one at the top where it's quite hard to open. You can even open this one hand, which is great. Load the gel balls through the side, shut the door, good to go. A standout feature that a lot of blasters don't offer, I can't actually think of one off the top of my head, a long cell 11.1 gel blaster battery. This thing is badass. This is probably one of the best batteries that you can get on the market at the moment, and you will not see one of these in really any gel blasters. In the accessories box, we also have 3M safety glasses. In a lot of gel blaster boxes, you actually get quite low quality gel blaster safety glasses. So what we decided to do was get you ones that you can actually go straight from the box onto the field and not have to worry, and you're going to be compliant as well. This does meet some quite high safety standards as well, but they're also wraparound glasses. So you'll see here, they wrap around the edges as well. I know I look probably pretty cool, but I can't see anything because I wear prescription glasses. So if you wear prescription glasses, you probably won't be able to use these, but if you don't, these things are probably one of, if not the best safety glasses that you get from any gel blaster box on the market. And finally, in the box, you get a small packet of milky white gel balls. I probably wouldn't use these. I'd be using the Alpha King or Titan 2.0 gel balls because this thing is hitting so hard that it might shatter these. There's a couple of standout features on the blaster that I do want to point out that are quite small, but I believe make great big differences. So right here at the back, a lot of people don't pay attention to it and they wonder what it is, but this is actually a fuse. Now, what you'll find in a lot of gel blasters is that if something's going wrong, it does actually directly affect the LiPo battery. It can swell, it can even catch fire in some cases and cause a lot of smoke. With this one right here, if it does find that it's getting too hot or there's energy going back into the battery that it shouldn't, the fuse is actually going to blow, it's going to cut the circuit and it won't damage the battery. Or if on the other hand, the battery has a malfunction, it's not going to damage the blaster itself. This one right here could save you buying an entirely new blaster. Plus, we have spare fuses. So if yours does blow for any damn reason, we have ones for you that you can replace, and it takes 1 second. You don't need to be an expert, you just untwist it, put a new one in, twist it back in, you're good to go. And another thing, putting the blaster together is literally a breeze. You only need to put the buttstock on and you're good to go. So all we do is pull out the buffer tube, you slide the wires through the buffer tube, of course, and then finally, we're just twisting the buffer tube onto the adapter that's on the back of the blaster. Now, if you find that it doesn't line up kind of like this, all you need to do is adjust it to find out which way it sits at the bottom like this. You want the bottom part, the long part, the part that's sticking out to be at the bottom and straight so that the buffer tube can also be straight. I'll do it right now, it'll take me a minute. There we go, good to go. Now, all we do is make sure those wires are tucked in, put the buttstock back on, line it up, and there she is. Honestly, the rear back here, deadly solid. The front, I can't even move it the slightest bit. Chuck the mag in, and if you want the sight on, you can put it on as well. But there you have it. The Mark IV, the Mark V, and the Mark VI are the exact same setup. The only difference is the handguard length. The Mark IV stops about here. The Mark VI goes up to about here. It's entirely up to you which you prefer. Also, if you want to see the tan and black, here it is. Boom. This one's been modified just a little bit. You'll see here, we've added a front grip, a silencer as well. And the rest of it is how it comes out of the box. It doesn't take much to get you field ready and looking just how you want it. Something else that I would add is probably a torch and laser on the side. And this is gonna look seriously tactical on the field. Like, guys, this is what people work their butts off trying to find all these different parts online from 1,000 different stores just to make something like this when you can just buy it in one go like that and it rocks up to your door ready to go. Internally, this blaster comes with a full metal gear set, a metal rack piston with an upgraded O-ring on it. The motor is an upgraded 480 motor and the spring inside is a 1.3 millimeter spring. As I mentioned earlier, it's shooting around 300 FPS, give or take 20 FPS. It is field ready, absolutely. And it's bloody heavy, guys. This thing is something that I wish was out when I first got into the game because this is what I would have bought for my first gel blaster. The receiver is ABS nylon composite, same with the magazine, the trigger is also. And unlike most Gen 8 blasters, this one actually has a prime and select fire. So you'll see here, single shot, and then it also has full auto. I'll keep it short and simple for you guys. If this blaster was out when I first got into the game, this is the one that I would have started with. Why? I didn't have to go to 1,000 stores and build this exact blaster from scratch. This one's ready, good to go. I don't need to put any work in, I just need to customize it to make it look like the way I want it. Not to mention, the blaster is in our premium range and it comes with a 6-month warranty. That is easily the longest in the entire industry. I promise that you guys are going to absolutely love this blaster. I don't know why you wouldn't. The Gen 8 is easily the most popular blaster in the entire industry, and all we've done is gone and made it heavier and hit harder, which is what you guys asked for. The Mark IV, the Mark V, and the Mark VI are available on our website right now. If you didn't think you could afford it, well, now you can with the pay it later system. Get anything that you want right now, and then just pay it off in installments as you go. This is Corey from TacToys. Happy blasting.